the Arizona Cardinals just gave James Conner a contract extension, and they should use him less in 2025? Yeah, let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter, Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast at Locked On AZ Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, free wherever you get your podcast, and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Been in sports media in Phoenix since 2011, hosting this lovely podcast, going on my 9th season. Absolutely crazy. And there's so much excitement still, so much uncertainty, but in a good way. And it's really a make or break 2025 season for the Cardinals. So I'm super stoked about it. We're doing the How to Fix the Cardinals series. I'm switching it up. I got some, I feel like explaining to you how I think the Cardinals should fix a specific position group should go first, and then I can kind of go backwards from there. I'll do the positives, what's going right in the final segment, why the Cardinals need to fix it in the second segment, but how to fix it in the first. And today, the running back room. And while James Conner has been a vision since coming over to the Cardinals a couple years ago, and when Trey Benson got his touches last year, especially in the second half of the season, he showed the makings of a very, very talented back in this league. And with the disjointed nature of Kyler Murray's rush attack last year, which was kind of, the numbers look a lot better because he had, 150 of his total yards in 3 runs, 130 of his total yards in 3 runs last year. There's a lot that can be fixed. And it starts with James Conner. James Conner's usage needs to go down in 2025 if the Cardinals want to improve their rush attack. And what I mean by that is exactly that. James Conner should be getting less touches running the ball in 2025. And this has nothing to do with, he's shown signs of aging. Trey Benson is 100% the guy that's going to supplant him. Kyler Murray needs to run the ball more. None of that. But if the Cardinals want to unlock that next iteration of the offense, the balance needs to be much more prevalent. So how you fix the Cardinals' rush attack, give other guys opportunities. Very simple. And I believe truly that anybody in the backfield for the Cardinals can show the output at least close enough to what James Conner puts out there to keep opposing defenses guessing when 1, both, 3 running backs, whatever it is, are on the field. Who's going to get the ball? The rush attack needs to be schemed for, not just James Conner. And when we discuss the lopsided nature of this offense and how it's gone stagnant at times last year and in years past, and how James Conner, when he got hurt all the way back to 2021, that's when things started to fall off the rails. I mean, obviously Kyler Murray was hobbled, then DeAndre Hopkins got hurt down the stretch, but I've been screaming from the mountaintops out of the aforementioned big dumb face that I have that James Conner at some point needs to move into the LeGarrette Blount role. And I'm not saying, so for those that, show that I'm aging myself there, LeGarrette Blount, especially was when he was with the Patriots, when he was with the Eagles, I think he won Super Bowls in back-to-back years, one with the Patriots, one with the Eagles. When they had a lead in the fourth quarter, 10 touches, 12 touches in the fourth. Bleed clock, 4 yards a carry, move the sticks. Anything inside the 5, LeGarrette Blount. But between the 20s during the majority of the game, it doesn't really matter what back is back there. Whether it's James White or, whoever else the Patriots threw out there. Like, the Cardinals have enough talent back there with Emari Demercado and Trey Benson to be able to utilize them a lot more than what they have. And that's how you fix the rush attack. And again, while it seems counterintuitive to not give your best running back the ball 90% of the time, in an attempt to really show the full potential of this offense, other guys got to eat too. And that's on the coaches. That's on the offensive line. That's on Kyler Murray checking to runs at the right times if he sees a coverage, if he sees a package on defense that they can exploit. It's on a lot of different things. And it's also on Kyler Murray to run the ball more. Now, I'm not saying Lamar Jackson numbers. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts numbers. I'm not saying Josh Allen numbers. I talked about that yesterday. I'm just saying more with more purpose than just, oh, Kyler Murray hasn't run the ball recently. Let's get him a touch. No. How you fix this run game is by giving the best running back the ball less. Again, counterintuitive. And the Cardinals' offense doesn't work. It's broken about as much as the McDonald's ice cream machine. 30% of the time feels like 100. 30% of the time, 30 feels like 100. That's kind of what we're looking at with the Cardinals offense. And you know the way to change that McDonald's ice cream machine? Nobody knows. Come on, let's be honest. Let's live in the real world here. The way to fix the Arizona Cardinals running back room and rush attack, give other guys 20 or 30% more touches. 60-40 James Conner. The important touches, of course. Very few, and I've discussed this over my years here and then in radio and stuff too. Like, when someone says a running back has a nose for the end zone, that's a coveted trait. Many don't. Many don't. Ezekiel Elliott, perfect example, has a nose for the end zone. Incredible. When he's around there, he gets in. Derrick Henry, just because he's LeBron James, just brute force, that's different. But like, guys who have a nose for the end zone just find a way to get in. And James Conner does that and has that. But between the 20s, let the other kids eat. And it's not even like, oh, okay, it's time to give Trey Benson a series. Let's give Emari Demercado a series. No. How you fix this offense is by constantly switching up the running back in the backfield. Constantly. And this is practice. This is preparation. This is Drew Petzing. This is Kyler Murray. This is the true unlocking of the ultimate potential of this offense. By dispersion of opportunities to players who you trust. Dispersion of opportunities. Diversifying. And once again, as I pivot to why the Cardinals need to do this, giving the ball to other backs will make this offense better. Imagine opposing defenses having to scheme for 2 or 3 running backs, or the running game as a whole, where you don't know which back will be coming in next. On 3rd and 8, is it Emari Demercado getting a draw? On 2nd and 2, is it Trey Benson in there that sets up the play action? Like, on 4th and 1, is it James Conner back there? But really, it's a Kyler Murray quarterback off tackle to the right, where Jonah Williams sets the edge. It's not the element of surprise. It's the element of having all of the options available to you and utilizing them. Something the Cardinals have failed at quite miserably a large portion of the last couple seasons. They're getting in their own way when they have the talent to be able to unlock the entirety of the offense. That's bearing the lead. Why fix it? You want to see what 100% of this offense looks like. They've seen about 70%. Why fix it? Next, Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on that than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game. So even if you miss the opening tip or want to bet a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting because it keeps every moment of the game exciting, whether I'm backing my team for a late game rally or picking a player to hit a clutch 3. I mean, I feel like I never missed a chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. How to fix the Arizona Cardinals running back room and rush attack? Give the ball to James Conner less. Why fix it? Why? It was the staple of the Cardinals offense last year and in years past. I'll let you chill for a second. Why fix it? This is where you can yell and say, "Oh no, it's fine." Locked on mug. Company guy. The offense doesn't work when it's just James Conner. That's why fix it. Kyler Murray needs to be more of a focal point in 2025. That's why fix it. The Cardinals, and we use this, a handful have used it since, but my former co-host and I believe, were the trailblazers of this. It was probably me, but, we'll give him credit too. It's like buying a Lamborghini and putting it in first gear. That's what this offense looks like. It's a personification of this offense. Why fix it? Because this offense needs to be fixed. And what's the focal point of this offense? The rush attack. For now. I definitely think the pendulum needs to swing, not aggressively, but somewhat substantially over more to the Kyler Murray as the focal point, whether it be his legs, his arm, or whatever it is. But any good team, any great team, I'm not saying the Cardinals are great yet, okay? Any good, great team has a solid run game. But it doesn't have to be the only thing they're good at either. And what we've seen, aside from Trey McBride's stellar performance for the entirety of last year, pretty much aside from the touchdowns, spot elite play from Marvin Harrison Jr., I find that just like a sharpshooter, you got to get the passing game warmed up early. And because we'll be discussing the passing game next week, the running game needs to be so stellar and so set and forget with so many options at running back that you trust that it's not something that needs to be worried about. It's not something that needs to be worried about to produce when you need it to produce. It's now a requirement for the rush attack to produce, for the Cardinals to win, for the Cardinals to stay relevant, for the Cardinals to stay in contention in games. It shouldn't be that way. So why fix it? This has got to be the best rush attack the Cardinals have had in 20 years. Next year. And it's scheme, it's offensive line, and it's Trey Benson, and it's Emari Demercado. If they draft a back, we have no idea what they're going to do this year. This needs to be the best rush attack the Arizona Cardinals have had with Kyler Murray at quarterback. And I think, it's pretty much there already. But it needs to be better. It needs to be great. And it needs to be one where you can bring in Trey Benson on a 3rd and 2, Emari Demercado on 1st and 10, James Conner on 4th and 2, and run play action. You need to be able to keep opposing defenses on their heels irrespective of who is in the backfield. And that's not it now. It's not there yet. And a lot of this is on Drew Petzing. A lot of this. Thinking outside the box with the talent at your fingertips. They're only utilizing 70% of the talent in the backfield because the majority of that is just James Conner getting the ball. First down, second down. Oh, screen pass, James Conner. Can't happen anymore. First of all, obviously the longevity part. James Conner played the majority of the season last year. Fantastic. That was the first time, really. So on top of all of that, James Conner's health. Why fix it? So you don't have to worry about life without James Conner for a game or 2 or 3 or 5. But that's not the main reason. Like I could have said, why fix it? Oh, because James Conner is going to get hurt. No, that's lazy, in my opinion. You know I don't like lazy. It's more so the Arizona Cardinals offense needs to be unpredictable to opposing teams. And the Cardinals offense needs to be so well-oiled and so in tune with exactly what talent they have and exactly how to use that talent, regardless of situation, that opposing defenses have no idea what to do. And it's been good. At times, it's been great. But with this evolution of what this offense should look like, in my opinion, it needs to not be just James Conner. It needs to be less predictable. Because if the run game is less predictable and more efficient, all it does is makes the pass game easier. All it does is make everything else easier. Because then you can delve in to exactly what I'm talking about with the rush attack, to the pass attack, which I'll talk about next week. And this is a top 5 offense. Give the ball to James Conner less. Unlock the potential of this offense. What are the positives, though? Because there are many to this rush attack. I'll discuss those next. Locked On Cardinals, your team. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, leave a review where reviews are left if you so desire. You know I'm just happy that you're here. I'm not requiring a review. I don't really care about ratings. I just care about putting out a solid product that makes you think. Cardinals offense, the Cardinals rush attack is good. James Conner is a really good football player. And that's the main positive here, is that the Cardinals have James Conner, which is sweet. Like, that's really good. That's a really good thing. That was one of the best, if not the best, moves that Steve Keim made. Yeah. I'll group that with Buda Baker. I know that, Trey McBride. Steve Keim was an idiot for drafting Trey McBride. Like, let's be honest. They needed corner and offensive line, and they traded for a wide receiver in the first round, drafted a tight end in the second round. It's like, even a blind squirrel, you know? But the James Conner signing for 1.2, I think, a 1 year, and then he's now potential Ring of Honor guy if they, make a deep playoff run during his time here. James Conner is really good at football. And James Conner is fantastic for the locker room. He's the leader on the field. Like, he is exactly what you want out of a veteran running back. I swear he's 6'5". There's no way he's 6 feet. He towers over people. He's 6'5", 100%. I think everybody's lying to me. I think everybody's lying. He runs hard. He plays hard. He preps well. He's a great mentor, things like that. You hope, and I've said this, for the last couple of years, and people have constantly, oh, no, move off of him. Just watch football and realize how important he is and just re-sign him, and they did. Trey Benson, while being very lost during camp, while being lost during the preseason in the, spot times that he played, and looking lost during the first part of the season, something clicked midway through. I think it was just one chunk run. He had a random 13 or 15 yard run for a first down. And then seems like everything just, I get it now. I see it now. And he's been good. But yeah. So for those that are listening or watch this podcast for a while, the oh no moments from rookies, that's the only thing you want to avoid, is an oh no, that player isn't ready yet. And we didn't see any of that last year, especially on defense. Darius Robinson, but one of the first stills of Darius Robinson's first full game was him with his right hand on the left tackle and left arm on the left guard, and him just pushing them back. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So it's kind of incomplete for him. But Trey Benson, there were no oh no moments. Like, oh man, there was a huge hole up the A gap, but he decided to bounce it outside and lost 3 yards. Like, there was nothing like that where the game looked well over his head, where he was drowning. He's like, oh no. And he gets the quick pull, the quick yank because, he's not ready. We didn't see that. We saw flashes, okay, which is good. We didn't see any oh no moments, which is good. And now, just like, I'll use another basketball analogy here. It's difficult a lot of times. Some people are just savants. Some people just do it. Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, guys that started their entire career, AAU, bantam league early on, AAU, high school, college. They just played every minute. They started, they went through warmups, they had to sweat, they took their warmups off, and they played basketball. They didn't sit on the bench. And then they go to the bench, they're 6 men, and it's like, it's an art form. Because most times, people at a high level, NFL, they never sit during any time of their career when they're healthy. And then you have a running back who's used to warm up, intros, play. And he's standing there on the sideline with his helmet on getting cold. It's like, it takes time to acclimate to that for most. Where you got to get the wheels in motion. And that's why I was pining so much midway through the season. Get Trey Benson some first quarter reps. Get him some second quarter reps. Get the juices flowing. Let him see it go in once in a while. Let's get him a first down. Let's get the juices flowing. So that momentum can be built and sustained throughout a game instead of just standing on the field for a half and then, in Green Bay taking the first series because James Conner's a little hobbled on the sidelines. It's like, that's not how you get a young back involved. So we saw it in the second half of the season, he started to get reps early on in games, and he started to get some momentum, and you're like, oh, that guy's got some giddy up. It's rare, you've got your guys. I mean, Derrick Henry wasn't a good football player until like his third year. I know he was behind DeMarco Murray. I'm not comparing Trey Benson to Derrick Henry, but it's like sometimes it takes a while. Not everybody's Adrian Peterson. Not everybody's Saquon. I mean, look at how long it took David Montgomery. I know he's with the Bears, and that's problematic, but, it takes a while sometimes. Plus, he's playing behind James Conner. But we haven't seen the, oh, man, they wasted a pick on a back in the third round. Damn it. No, there's none of that. Trey Benson, there's no foreshadowing that he's not going to be the guy to supplant James Conner when that time comes. And that's why how to fix his offense, get him the ball, get him 5, 6, 7 more touches a game. It's like, well, how are you going to get him more touches if they're going to throw the ball more? They'll figure it out. Like, I would love to see a world where James Conner has 15 total touches in a game, every game, because the rush game is so good with the other guys that you don't need it. Well, you paid him too much. James Conner is worth every single dollar times 2. They got a steal. They got an absolute steal. The invaluable nature that James Conner brings to this organization is worth double what he got. And yeah, you want to see, I'd rather see 15 touches for 17 games instead of 25 touches for 13. And you give him the important ones until you trust Trey McBride, good Lord, they got some Treys. Trey Benson on, third and goal from the 2 when James Conner got stuffed twice. That comes with time. That comes with reps. And that starts during voluntary OTAs the first second these running backs join the team after the offseason. That should be the first thing they get in the lab for. Not the pass attack, the rush attack. Set that, get it ready, get the game plan in place, dispersion of carries, dispersion of touches, so it's so set and forget that is the relied upon metronome that the offense continues to be run through, but it unlocks the ability for the offense to go banana sandwich. It unlocks the ability for the offense, for the pass game, to just get to a height that we haven't seen in a long time. And then you're having a conversation about the Cardinals winning the NFC West, about making a playoff run with an improved defense. It all is centralized around the run game, but it can't be just James Conner or it's not going to work. We've seen it every year. It hasn't worked. How to fix the Cardinals' rush attack? Give the ball to James Conner less. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Have a good weekend. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you Monday.